Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to week 2 MNVL action. I'm your host tonight, Skeptor, and joining me, my man, my partner in crime for League of Legends, it is Clay May. Welcome, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Skip, for that intro there. We got another good match, hopefully, for you tonight. We got Apple Valley and Rogers going at it. Two kind of different teams we're seeing here, but we're hoping for some excitement.
Yeah, different teams. I mean, we did a little bit of researching, you and I, on the league spot prior to our matchup, and these two teams have already had a little bit of a collision course in the preseason. It was Apple Valley getting the better of Rogers in a 2-0 fashion just a couple of weeks ago. So really early chance for Rogers to get a redemption shot here. The biggest highlight, though, is the fact that Apple Valley boasting a 3-0 record counting the preseason, and Rogers still yet to find their first W. So on the hunt, okay, anything is possible. We will see how it goes. The one plus note that you can take away for the side of Rogers is you did get a look at Apple Valley, so you should be a little bit familiar with what this team wants to play, Clay.
Absolutely, Skip. So Apple, so historically one of the best League of Legends teams we've seen. Also in other games, they've been very successful there as well. So
Very
but
true.
getting that style is really important because some teams have that specific style, and Apple Valley might be one. They seem really well rounded from damage numbers, looking at like in their 2-0. But yeah, very different styles and these teams here.
Yep. And looking at some of these gamer tags, quite positive that at least 3 to 4 of these Apple Valley players are returning players that played on the league team last year. I recognize quite a bit of these names. So definitely going to be expecting some very coordinated team play coming through for the side of ABHS. We know they are well coached. We've talked about it in the past. Wallyford used to play for Mankato. He was their mid laner. I've competed against him, so he definitely knows his stuff, and he has been guiding this team in the right direction for quite some time. We've seen them only improve over their small league tenure so far, though, Clay. It should be an interesting matchup. If you're Rogers and you dropped the series to Apple Valley just a couple weeks ago, what are you doing to change the script coming into game day today?
Well, you got to take from what that loss gave you. Look at maybe champion pools or what they're getting up to there, and see kind of what lanes they play around maybe. But also, while that game state is important, also the mental state is important too, because of course, if you lose to someone and then you play them a couple weeks later, that's kind of gonna be in the back of your mind. So, memory of a goldfish,
True.
you gotta just forget that, move past it, work to be better.
Couldn't agree more with you. That's the biggest thing, right? It was a few weeks ago. You know, you got to be able to push it aside for the time being, and you just got to come into the game fresh, right? Respect your opponent as always, but you can't be over the top respectful. We saw action from the very first second to the very ending last week. I'm assuming
Yes, we did.
that we won't have that many kills in this game. You know, knock on wood. That was a little bit hectic for myself. An NA clown fiesta might be, you know, the term that some would use, but only in NA are you going to get some quality League of Legends like we had last week. But anyways, I'm excited, man. Apple Valley, a school that always comes to play. You said it yourself, Clay May. They are one of the most competitive schools that we have had throughout our MNVL tenure so far,
Absolutely.
boasting multiple championships across chess, across Valorant, across, I mean, whatever else they have titles in, man. They got a lot of titles, all right? It's hard to keep
For
track
sure.
on my end.
For sure. But this could be, an upset for Rodgers. This would be
Very true.
certainly a very big upset, only in week 2 already. So every match counts here, and for Rodgers, that would be a very big win to kind of kick off their season. I know last week was the kickoff, but this could be the real kickoff if you can take down Apple Valley, these titans of the MNVL, very competitive in every game. Some of their star players going very far. Who knows? Anything can
Yeah.
happen.
Very true. And I mean, you got to come out with a hot start, right? We saw our squad fall down bad last week in the early game. And unfortunately, League of Legends is a very punishing game for those who aren't as familiar with it. If you give over a lot of kills early on, that would be considered feeding. Okay, I'll do some air quotes. And
Yeah.
realistically, you're just farming the bank accounts of your opposition. They're going to get way better items than what you can afford for the time being. They're going to get a higher XP level, which means all of their stats are going to go up, more damage, more health, more resistance, you name it. You only get stronger as this game progresses. So it is really important that you limit your mistakes in the early portions of the game, because that's really where that snowball effect starts to pick up, right? Pretend you're pushing that snowball
For
down the
sure.
hill. The second you build into that early game, it leads to all the success that you could ask for, neutral objective control. And I mean, we've seen it. Once teams start to win, that snowball landslide takes on full effect, Clay.
Absolutely. So early game aggression, definitely a way to play the game. Of course, if the opposition of an early game team comp wanted to go for more of a late game scaling sort of focus, where you get stronger as the game goes on and eventually be able to outclass your opponents regardless of what early game lead, could be a little more difficult to execute, as you have to maintain some sort of evenness, or even just a very slight lead or very slight not lead in the early game to be able to work into that scaling focus for your team comp.
Yeah. And I mean, we're going to figure out what these teams are looking at. We are taking care of pro draft outside of the stream. Then we will be loading into the actual champion select, where all players will just select the champions that they picked in pro draft. Reason for doing this: not everybody owns every champion. So to put all teams and new players alike on an even playing field, we draft through pro draft, because there are way too many champions and not enough blue
Absolutely.
essence to go around for our young league players here. So pro draft is the
For
way.
sure.
It's usually the way you do it in tournaments and stuff. So I'm quite familiar with pro draft. Very easy process. We'll get into champion select soon after that, and we will get this best of 3 series underway. Excited to see though
Sure.
how these two teams are going to kick it off tonight. And I mean, I'm going to go back to the point of Rogers needs to come out of the gate swinging early, right? Apple Valley knows what they are capable of. They took you out just a couple weeks ago. You got to be able to switch something up, right? Throw them for a loop. Maybe you switched, maybe you worked on,
Sure.
new champions, maybe you worked on a new composition. Regardless of that, you saw what Apple Valley liked just a couple weeks ago. And I mean, the big highlight is not many times are you playing a squad that you played in preseason this early on in regular season, right? It's fresh in the mental. You're very aware of what they picked, what they banned. So it should be a little bit of a chess match going into this very first pick ban for both teams trying to get what they want. I'm excited to see how it goes.
For sure there. Gonna make draft pretty interesting for this one. But also, who knows? Apple Valley could be a little cocky going into this. Oh, we already beat
True.
Ross. They're nothing to us. But Rodgers,
Yeah.
they could have some, they could be cooking up something in the stove there. So they could be really coming out with a way to take down Apple Valley and silence their egos. Apple Valley could be shocked, even if just one, even if they don't win the series. One game from Rodgers off of Apple Valley would still be a huge win for them. Big upset, and who knows, that could shock Apple Valley into, losing the second game, and then this whole series is over. And Rodgers
Yeah.
is on top of the moon.
Yeah, I mean, Rogers, like we said, you got to have a game plan from the get go. Got to have a controlled early game, right? If you're going aggressive, got to be with your team. Got to be the right time to go aggressive, because Apple Valley, a very punishing squad. We've seen them make it far in the state finals time and time again. And now this is just one of those teams that is always dialed in, always well practiced, well coached. It just seems like they are one of the schools that have been a little bit ahead of the rest of the pack, and their trophy cabinet is all to show for it. Their coaches are great. Their players are great. They all come in and they put in the work. And I mean, their school has earned it. They've earned the
For sure.
notorious kind of title. Like, this squad has a name. They have reputation every time they step onto the server, and they frankly have a target on their back, right? This is a squad that
Absolutely.
people are going to start to study, right? I mean, in Valorant, you can only be at the top for so long. People are going to be studying your VODs. The same can be said for League of Legends, right? Every team is going to be taking note of what they're looking for in their pick band. So, got to keep it fresh, got to be able to switch up on the fly. And I mean, like I said, waiting patiently to get into this one. This is going to be an electric game two, folks. I want to give a quick shout out to all 6 of our premier collegiate sponsors representing MNVL this season. We want to thank each and every one of them for providing MNVL basically this opportunity to get to put out this stream, host this league for all of our players. We could not do it without the support of our 6 amazing colleges. So make sure you check them out below, everyone. I know that we're a high school league, right? So college coming around the corner one way or another. If you want to chase your degree and you want to have a path in esports, no better place to look than the 6 colleges listed below. We want to thank them again one more time. Heart from the MNVL team out to our 6 premier collegiate sponsors.
Absolutely, Skep. Esports is growing in the collegiate scene and the high school scene and kind of just the world scene. Esports is coming very big. So MNVL here, very good path to continue esports after high school. Maybe get a career in the industry. There's a lot of careers out there. I've heard about them. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but we'll see. Try and maybe cast. Yeah, but esports becoming a really big thing here in the world, just in video games in general with the growth of them. Esports comes along with that too. Because a lot of games can be made into esports, even if they weren't designed for it. So who knows? Maybe
Right.
we'll be seeing some of those games here in the MNVL later.
Heck yeah. I mean, every season, MNVL has expanded its roster, whether it's games, new schools, new players. Everything is always getting worked on at MNVL. I mean, we are the premier high school esports league, and it's not even close. Any competitor, you want to have a talk, we can talk outside. But other than that, it's MNVL on top, and I don't want to hear anything else about the subject.
Sure.
So, case closed on that one. That was easy. I mean, feeling good, man. This has been fun though.
Yeah.
You've been killing it so far. If you want me to be honest, a little bit of glaze on the cast from your co-caster, so that's nice.
Oh, gassing me up. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But for the
Yes,
league,
sir.
maybe they're going to be killing it on Summoner's Rift today. We'll have to see. Maybe in Valorant, no, Fracture or whatever. They're getting into that.
Yeah, I mean the nice thing about League of Legends is we know that we're going to Summoner's Rift. Okay, it's not
Exactly.
Valorant. We don't have a map pick ban where we're gonna go. We don't know. We're going to the good old fashioned Summoner's Rift. The only thing that can rival Summoner's Rift, probably Howling Abyss. Okay, nothing wrong with the good old ARAM. All right, maybe Butcher's Bridge. Okay, when they had the Bilgewater theme, that was pretty fire. I definitely like that.
Yeah.
Butcher's Bridge was the wave. But anyways, I'll hone it back in here. Summoner's Rift, mine back on task. Apologies for hitting the mic. That might have sounded bad, but I'll keep the hands where they belong, down low. Well, there we go. Didn't sound too loud. That's nice. Usually when I bump my mic, dude, it's pretty bad. So I got a little bit nervous, but we got the okay from production, so that's what matters.
All right.
Assuming that we got to be pretty close to be getting into this one.
Should be. Not entirely sure, but we'll see. Yeah, getting in here.
Okay, waiting on an update. That's that's a head scratcher because that's a bad look. Okay, if we're updating on day of game, that means that we haven't been playing leading up to our game day, right?
Oh, no.
Only that's my takeaway because otherwise game would have been updated. So don't know which school that's on. All right, we'll leave it up in the air as to who is the unupdated player. But we're 9 out of 10 out of the way there. So maybe pick ban is or pro draft. I'm assuming is done. Once that player gets that update finished, about 89%, we will be jumping straight into champion select, folks. So we appreciate your patience. Clay May, if you had to make a game time call right now, one champion that we're gonna see, and I know this is at random and this is tough. I'll say one too. If you had to pick one champion that you think we're going to see in this best of 3, who would you pick? I'll go after.
I'm going to have to go with the Blitzcrank from appropriately named Blitzcranker on Apple. You can't name yourself after a champion and not expect to play it. They also played the Galio in their game 2 last week, so another aggressive support pick there. They also had 30% of team damage on them. I'm not sure how that happened, but definitely an aggressive support player here with Engage, and that's their focus.
I like that call, man. That's a Sherlock Holmes investigative pick right there. Blitzcranker, you go with Blitzcrank for the pick. I like that. I'm going to go with who am I going to go with? I'm going to take my man J4 in the jungle, Jarvan the Fourth. He's been really good meta-wise. We've been seeing a lot of Jarvan play recently. Like, dude is just mad busted. I don't even know what they changed on him. I don't even think he's been buffed recently. Like whenever Jarvan just starts getting picked, everybody remembers, oh yeah, Jarvan, he's like got CC, he's a really good tank initiator, engaged. Like, man, I kind of like Jarvan. So yeah, Jarvan's been getting picked. I'm gonna go with Jarvan. That's my guy. He's a beast. I like playing some Jarvan, so that's gonna be my pick for this series. Hopefully one of these teams can do us proud. I have definitely seen Blitzcranker play Blitzcrank though, so that's a good guess.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
got to play a lot of Blitzcrank last season, which was interesting because it's like, maybe you just ban Blitzcrank, but then he would just pick Nautilus. Like he plays all the hook champions.
Yeah, there's
Plays
so
Pike,
many
plays
hooks.
Thresh, plays Nautilus. Like Buddy has the
Yeah,
hooks on lock. That's what you can expect coming out
absolutely.
of Blitzcranker in the bot lane for AVHS.
Absolutely.
All
Apple
right.
Valley, of course, looking to hook a win here today, but we're getting in here, might be. Yeah, so those, and you can't ban all the hook champs because I believe there's 5, so that would be all your bans, and then you're leaving up all the other power picks in every other lane,
Yeah.
so not
And
a good
you
route to
only
take
get
there.
3 bans on the first rotation anyway. So if
2,
you saw 3 of the hooks get banned at the end of the day, Apple Valley are just picking that up. So they're going to
for
get it
sure.
regardless, right? You can't really ban out the hooks anymore. Riot's done a good job at adding a lot of those champions that kind of have that similar style. Obviously, each hook
Definitely.
being a little bit different than the last, but basically all doing the same thing.
Well,
Perfect. Folks, without further ado, champion select coming at
here
you
we
now.
go.
Game number 1 between Apple Valley and Rogers. Nocturne, the first ban to start things out.
Rogers. Yeah, all right. Now looking over to the side of Apple Valley. Can't really base anything off the Viego. So 2 jungle bans already coming out from both sides. Next ban from Rogers. Here, there is the Blitzcrank. So if we're
Yep.
we're gonna count it as appearing, not getting picked, but it's there. So definitely a power pick we're getting away there. The Victor now, control mage there in the mid lane focus from the Apple Valley side.
Never pick a fight you can't win.
Rogers in blue side going to come out with first pick here. Gwen, the final ban coming through for AVHS. How does Rogers decide to start out the draft? It is a Garen lock.
Garen.
I mean, this isn't the order that all these players drafted in. They're just going to draft as what they are playing in the game. So we don't know what first pick priority was, etc. The one beneficial thing for teams, you don't know how they drafted it or in what order. And baby, I'm on the money.
Oh man.
Let's go.
1-0 for
go,
Skeptor. Syndra now coming out for the side of Rogers. There's the mid lane. Now
Dude, Team
going into
Demacia for Rogers.
Oh yeah,
Garen
yeah,
and
too.
Jarvan, that's kind of sick. Garen, Jarvan's main protector, or is that Xin Zhao? I think Garen's Jarvan's protector.
Yeah, because he's like serves the crown and Jarvan's
Yep.
there. Xin Zhao is
Xin Zhao's, he's Demacia, but he's like just a 1v1 specialist fighting out in the arena, just a warrior. Demacia's pretty OP, man. Like if you had to pick a league faction that's the best, my money's on Noxus or Demacia. Like those are just the big 2, right? Like other places are cool, like Freljord, Ionia, Bilgewater, but it's like you just cannot go wrong with Demacia and Noxus. Heavy hitters.
not. Yep, talking about Noxus. Just saw 2 Noxus champions get banned in the last phase. The Mordekaiser from the side of Apple Valley, the Cassiopeia from Rogers. Now the 80 carries getting picked. We're gonna see a and a Zeri. Zeri, a little weaker in the meta right now, but historically a very powerful pick, can snowball a lot. Tristana, also currently a very strong pick. We've seen her at Worlds, played a little bit more in the mid lane, but
That's hilarious.
Yumi Zeri.
Yumi is bad, and he's locking in Yumi. And Blitzcranker's on a hook.
There's
champion.
the hook.
What? Never saw it coming, folks. Nautilus locked in. Boy, oh boy. I'll be honest, man. This Apple Valley team comp looks absolutely horrifying. Every single one of their players has dive potential, okay? Every single one. They are going to be throwing the kitchen sink at Rogers. The big thing for them, can they peel back in the team fights? Can they disengage from Apple Valley's wombo combo of a team fight? If they can do that, there is a world where they can kite out these fights and win it out. The Zeri Yumi is quite disgusting if piloted correctly. Syndra, a very spatial control mage, can keep the distance. However, no get out of jail card for Syndra. So if she gets wrapped up by some CC, you can kiss Syndra goodbye because she ain't gonna be alive for long.
Absolutely, Syndra gonna need to manage the flash there, but also for the dive, the volley bear, he can just disable the turrets. Just ult on in there and they're gone. They're not even a problem anymore. Malphite ults on top of you, now you're knocked up. Echo's diving in, now you're taking all the damage, now you're in a 2-second stun, and you lost the fight. It's over.
That's what I was thinking in my head. Like that amount of constant CC getting layered on top of each other. The amount of dive is just way too wombo combo-y for that side of AVHS. So Rogers going to have a good early game if they want a chance to make it, because once we get to like that deep late game, if those tanks are tanky, they're going to have a hard time getting through that front line that Apple Valley is putting up. And even though Echo's not like a tank, the fact that he's got Zonias, he's got that fat shield from W, he's got ultimate that refreshes his entire HP bar. He's like a pseudo tank almost, you know.
Absolutely.
He's just slippery and hard to kill. So like this Apple Valley team is going to be tricky to deal with for Rogers.
Absolutely, there. The Jarvan going to have to be a big focus there for Rogers to really utilize him and get him into the lanes early, get him ganking, get him in the fights, because that Cataclysm ult just trap people in a bit of a ring. Then they can't escape if they don't have dashes or flash or anything. They're just going to die. They're just going to get dove in on from the Synders. Could do us a week to land the stuns. Garen's jumping in with the silence. Then you can't even dash regardless. The ultimate execute from him. Definitely some combos there as well, but a bit less on the combo focus there. Could be a bit more passive in the early game there. Having less dive.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, top lane Garen versus Malphite. You'd have to think Garen getting a little bit better of that 1v1, just a little bit more sustain. He's got that regeneration that really helps him out in lane. Garen not having to deal with mana. Malphite obviously having to deal with mana. So Garen kind of does what he wants. He's just up there swinging that broadsword, making bodies hit the floor, basically is what Garen's job is. Sends you the judgment of Demacia with the sword from the heavens or wherever that sword comes from, man. He calls it in, and that thing does the damage.
Yeah, it does. I think it actually comes from Kale, who's like the aspect of justice.
Oh, are you serious?
That's another champion. I'm pretty sure that's the lore.
If that's the lore, then you're the GOAT for that one, because that's sick. That makes sense. Kale obviously hailing from Demacia as well, so I'd believe it.
I just know a little bit.
There you go.
Not that
just a
deep
little
into
bit.
the lore.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I know what's
just a little tidbit. A tidbit of lore for you guys today.
A little interesting.
I won't lie. We sound like nerds talking about League of Legends lore, but as far as I'm concerned, League of Legends has the best lore of like any video game, and it's not even up for question. Maybe like OG Call of Duty like campaign and stuff, but other than that, dude, that can't even like compare to what the League of Legends fandom and world is, man. It's unreal. It's too good. Wait till season 2 Arcane comes out, okay? Wait till season 2 Arcane comes out. It's coming soon, all right? I got a feeling. If you haven't checked out Arcane, make sure you check it out, dude. It's actually a baller show. You don't even have to be a League player. You don't even have to be a League player to like it. It's a very good show. I can't believe I'm giving Arcane a shout out like this. This is shameless. But anyways, here we are, Arcane, League of Legends show. It's pretty good stuff.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure season 2
Echo in there
is winter of next year. So end of year there. So
all right. Well, we still got a little bit of time, but I can hope. Maybe an early release.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. We got to be within the last minute of our spectator delay here, folks. We will be loading into game in just a second. We appreciate all of you sticking around and listening to me and Clay May yap it up. Pre-game number 1, week 2. Apple Valley and Rogers finally about to get into this one, man. I'm ready to go. I know you're ready to go. Are our players ready to go? That's the big question.
Absolutely. Are they ready for this underdog story grudge match? Maybe we'll have to see. You already saw the draft, already saw the game plan, but can they execute? That is always the key factor. You can come in with as much planning and pregame stuff as you want, but if you can't execute on it, it's not going to work out for you.
Very true. All right. We will be in there momentarily, folks. We appreciate it. I mean, a future, PSA to all of our league players. We got to update our clients maybe before the game.
Yeah, wink, nudge, nudge.
Maybe. I don't know. But that's what I would do. That's what I would have my team do. But hey, you know what? We'll take it. We'll take it and leave it. We'll just move on, move past it. All right. No harm, no foul this time. Next time, I'm going to have to hit at you with a Jarvan ulti myself. Scream Demacia and just jump in from wherever. Doesn't matter. Or even maybe like a Nocturne ultimate. I can just say darkness, and then you're not going to know what's going on. And I'm just going to come flying in, update your client for you before the stream next time.
Yeah, cross map client updates. So
That's
that's
sick.
pretty in there. Yeah, and Malphite's jumping on top of you with the ultimate. Nautilus is
Yeah.
pulling you around. You're just getting tossed around. You can't have that anymore.
Oh, baby. Here we go. Game number
Here we go.
1. Best
Second.
of
All
3.
right.
Apple Valley and Rogers. Apple Valley on the red side, Rogers on the blue side. I'm going to pretend like I never saw that. So let's get those swapped. Apple Valley
Yeah.
going for an aggressive invade here too. Starting out, taking control of all of bottom lane. And look at bot lane had a mishap. Yumi forgetting to buy potions or something means no vision in the bottom half. And Apple Valley hopping into this jungle scot-free right now. Have a chance to maybe get a pick, but they might get spotted on this ward. And it seems as they will.
Wow. Fortunate, but
Jarvan.
definitely some
Wait
aggression
a
there from
second.
Apple Valley. Now
Wait a
705
second,
Stinger. He's going to walk
Jarvan!
into 3 of them. He's going to get rooted. He's going to get taken down at 115. He even spent the flash too. First blood going over to calls from Apple Valley.
Clay, that one hurts my soul. Mid lane, somebody threw a ward. We just say mid laner leaving from your jungle. If you see the enemy mid laner in your jungle, who else do you think's in your jungle? 705 Stinger, you got to do better than that, my friend, because that's going to set you on the back foot. That is not something that Rogers could afford to kick off this BO3, Clay.
Absolutely not, Skip. It's not what you want. Another hook coming out, but it's going to go wide. The outline of Apple Valley, just going to walk back after leashing.
And that's a flash burn from Ziri off that.
Oh, it was. I didn't even see that.
Yeah. Flash
Early aggression
expended.
wins.
No heal for Yumi as well. That was a misclick? When did that happen?
What? It's a total mess here, man. We don't know what's happening. Summoner spells are coming out left and right. Chaos here 2 minutes into the game. He was going to land.
And Blitzcranker level 2 now. No flash on Ziri.
Lands the hook. Lands the root. Calls jumping
That's
in
a
with
dead
the
Ziri.
W. Yep. Zeri going to go down here. We're gonna have a little trade coming out here from Eggsy and Dagadas on the top lane. Eggsy spinning around, but Dagadas living through with that shield.
In that trade. Minion damage coming in big time for the Malphite. Yumi backing, not respecting
Another
the
hook's gonna
Nautilus,
land. Another root.
that is
Another
not
jump.
real.
Yeah.
What are we doing? I'm losing it, man. I'm losing it.
We're
How are
only
you
3
that
minutes
disrespectful? Blitzcranker's like 3 for 3 on hook. The only reason the first one missed is because it got flashed. Blitzcranker bullying the bot lane.
Yeah. 3 minutes in, 3 kills for the side of Apple Valley. This is not the start you wanted if you are Rogers. You're already getting pushed out. You're getting pushed out in top. Your bot lane's pretty much over with the 2-0-1 Tristana from Pauls. It's not looking too good there. Also, the flash out from Jarvan's going to be less aggressive. Guess he could get level 6 flash ult. Might be up by then, but who knows? Definitely a bad start.
And the other big point, Clay, is Jarvan going down. Goes leashless on his jungle clear, and look at how big of a difference we're spotting. Volibear up big on the CS department, clearing through the entirety of his jungle, and gonna have a bit of an XP lead over the Jarvan, already level 4 for Volibear, as Jarvan trying to clear that bottom scuttle.
For sure.
Eggsy going aggressive in the top lane, trading with the Malphite, trying to run him down. Malphite low on mana, but should be safely to tower.
Silence. Just a bit more damage there, placing him around.
When
Also,
Volibear coming
Dagadas starting
topside
with
here,
Doran's.
Clay. No wards for Eggsy. If he baits into a team fight, this could be bad. Volibear hanging out. Jarvan coming into bot side.
Now 705 Stinger. Blitzcranker has the hook, or has no hook. He gets knocked up. They root down 705 Stinger.
Big
Now they're gonna
damage.
root
Flash
down
out from
onto
Nautilus. Tristana's going to clean this
Staying
up.
in there. He's jumping. Blitzcranker lands another hook.
Rogers
lands another
just got
root.
1v,
Is he gonna
2v3?
live? The shield. Oh my goodness! A triple kill for Blitzcranker. Oh my gosh.
What in God's name was that from Blitzcranker?
Well, even on the Nautilus, Blitzcranker with the Blitzcrank still can perform. I don't even know how he got that much damage.
Yeah, man. I mean, you said it. You did some research. Blitzcranker responsible for 30% of the team's damage last week. And I think we're finding out why here, Clay. An absolute dumpstering in the bot lane. Just bullying the competition. Blitzcranker automatic on these hooks.
Absolutely, Scat. You see 6 kills from Apple. Val lane was part of. Ooh,
Good
stun
trade.
landing on the Sushi PM. Gonna scatter the weak away. Effen's also a little low on mana, so can't really do much there. But as I was saying, the sixth Valley was part of all 6 of those. They have all the team's gold right now. They're up CS, obviously, on Roger's bot lane as well, too. Up 10 there for calls versus the Rai. So they're just getting every advantage they wanted here in the early game, and we're only 5.5 minutes in.
Yeah, Dragon going the way of Apple Valley. So far, shutout performance coming through for AVHS, dominating like most of us thought. 3-0 for good reason, counting the preseason into this one.
Yep.
And you got to put it to most of these players being returning players for Apple Valley. So that synergy already built into this team here, Clay.
Absolutely, Skep. Now, Drinker's kind of walking up here. The minions should block the hook. The W's coming out, and I'm lagging a bit. And the root's going to land, and the hook's going to land, and more roots, and more damage from calls. Going to take down the ride. Now the ran onto Yum is bad, and he's going to jump back in. 705 Stinger. I'm not going to walk into that one. I wouldn't do that if I was him.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time understanding why this Yuumi is playing so forward. Yuumi by themselves is the most useless champion in this game, and it's not even close. Like, Yuumi requires to be attached to somebody. Stinger's in trouble, because even if he EQs out, he's still dead.
Even if he flashes.
Even if he,
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, W in for Tristana, 1v2 now. Oh, he's going to die to the bomb, and she gets a W reset, and she's out like a bandit.
705 Stinger's going to get the reset.
Clay, this is gnarly, and Blitzcranker's automatic.
Right, another hook going on to Sushi BM. Ruth going in. He's trying to do it in 1v1, but I don't think he quite has the damage to take down the Syndra, especially with no mana.
Tristana's getting away with murder. Kraken Slayer pre-10 minutes. This has already gotten out of hand, Clay. And another hook for Blitzcranker.
Oh, another hook landing on a Sushi BM.
No follow-up, though. That was close, man. I mean, Blitzcranker's got to have like an 85% hook accuracy so far. Like, it's grody.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Only one blocked, or that one that got flashed. We've only seen a few from him, but...
A big point to note out here. 9 kills, and look at the bot lane's kill participation. 100% KP. The bot lane and the jungle are getting thrashed. Tristana jumping in. 2v2. Volibear pulls up. Zesty doing the damage. Not going to follow on the dive, though. Volibear ultimate was available, but going to play passive for the time being.
For sure there. Also, I think it's kind of funny. Nautilus has more kills than Tristana. That's typically supposed to go. But
typically
anyways,
not, but that triple
summary,
kill. That triple kill was something fierce on that 2v3.
For sure. Blitzcranker definitely going to add that to his highlight reel. Now they're moving on to the turret here. Probably not going to look to dive. Have no follow-up. Bunch of damage, though. The Rai's kind of pushed out already. So low, Yuumi can't really support that much. Anyways, for Rogers, they're going to have to look to other lanes now, because the bot lane, that's, hook landing.
Oh, not dead, no auto.
All's going
One
in.
more auto could have done it for the Tristana. That bomb putting Ziri quite low.
Absolutely.
Yuumi not even close to level 6 yet. This is just a dead Ziri. This is a double
Got it
kill.
back, another root. All's is gone.
Flash out from Ziri.
Flash from the Rai. It's not.
Here comes Jarvan, but this is still not a fight that favors Rogers if they decide to engage. Yeah. And now he's going to get hooked for his troubles. Does he follow in with an EQ?
The root's there.
Gonna go for the ultimate. There's a chance. Heal from Tristana.
The ult's coming out. Trying to get onto calls. Jumps out. Rooted again. It was bad now.
Not enough damage for Rogers.
Mana, though, so.
They get the heal out of Tristana, so a little bit of a benefit, right? Taking away a summoner for the ultimate. But the main focus, Rogers has to get farmed up. Take a look at these CS leads right now for the side of Apple Valley here, Clay. Across the board.
Absolutely. 17 there. Yeah, 17 in top lane. Looking at 11 in the jungle. Mid lane is even right now.
Pretty even,
then,
yep,
of course,
pretty
bot
even.
Lane,
but yeah,
there.
bot lane, boy, oh
but
boy. We can't even talk about bot lane. 2 mythics coming through already. Like, just look at, for everybody in chat that's not familiar with League of Legends, okay? I'll give you a brief explanation. Look at everybody's items, okay? A bunch of people have a bunch of little pieces of items right now. There are 2 people in the game with completed items, that being both bot laners for Apple Valley, which is creating such a big advantage for them. All right? That's the big highlight. Both of them having items completely crafted, giving them a huge edge right now in their fights. And that's why they've been, stomping so hard. They're just ahead, and there's nothing that they can really do about it for the side of Rogers because of how well this bot lane played together.
Absolutely. The Rift Herald now taken for the side of Apple Valley. Going to be able to exert some turret pressure there, or lane pressure that they're looking for. And there we go. Yeah, so definitely just fantastic early game aggression here from Apple Valley.
Uh-oh.
I mean, Blitzcranker's already series
Dive
MVP,
getting set up.
and they're looking for a dive.
Blitzcranker just tanking the tower, not going to go. Dragon should be going over freely here, though, for Apple Valley in the meantime. Bully Bear working that. Syndra trying to come over top Riverside. Scat of the week, not going to find anything. Jarvan not going to be over here in time. And this is going to be a 2-0 Dragon lead the way of Apple Valley.
Absolutely. Little trade coming out here on the top side. Exeums.
Garen.
Out.
Oh, Yuumi going to get hooked up for the time being. Bomb, that's going to kill her. I mean, this Yuumi is just playing so disrespectful right now.
The damage. Yeah.
Jarvan, nice ultimate. Scat of the week. Bully Bear ulti's out.
He's going to land the ultimate, but Volley's going to get him out. Now Beffin jumping in onto 5 Stinger. The Ignite is ticking, but he's going to get out. Just barely.
That was close. Good damage coming through. Syndra now a chance. Echo.
Ooh.
Ulti back.
Oh, the
big
ulti
damage
back in.
Back on
The E, the Q. My goodness, Beffin, you are crazy.
That was a sick play. And that's that pseudo tankiness on Echo that we were talking about pregame, right? That ultimate ability, restoring 3/4 of the HP bar, bringing him right back into the fight. Shelly's coming out. It's a party in the mid lane. This could be second tower going down for Apple Valley, creating that gold lead and extending it right now.
5 Stinger, trying to get some damage to defend the turret. He'll get it, but so low, it's going to go down in just a bit anyways, especially with the gold lead Apple Valley has. 12 kills to nothing, almost 8,000 gold already through Dragons. It's not looking too good for Rogers. They're going to need to find something. It could be through that Garen, or maybe even the Syndra even.
Ulting on, and this is just not a fight you're going to win.
Calls, yeah. Didn't even need to talk about it. Or Roots, damage. The Ignite's taking on the Yum is bad. The BM, oh the shield, what are they doing? Another double kill for Blitzcranker? 705 Stinger, trying to get some damage on a call, is going to jump out. Going to be rooted up. Now Sushi BM coming up. Could they look for a pick on the call?
Scat of the week on both!
Low, he's not it. Ooh, with flash out. Blitzcranker's just going to get to walk.
Scat of the week from Syndra there, hitting both targets, having a chance, but really the biggest difference, level lead, XP lead, right? Item advantage heavily in this bot lane's favor, continuing to put on the pressure here.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen no action from the top side, but it doesn't matter because Dagadas is already up 24 CS, 25 now on Exi. So he's already winning the lane by himself without the need for Zesty to come up and help him.
Very true.
He's been exerting pressure on this turret the whole game.
The thing is Malphite's a way better team asset champion than Garen, right? Garen does a great job at solo dueling and his 1v1ing, but overall team fight aspect, unstoppable force from Malphite really can be a game changer. Now looking for Jarvan in his jungle.
In onto him. He's gonna pull himself out.
So dead.
But the hook from Blitzcranker, he's gone.
So dead. There's just nothing you can even do if you're 705 Stinger there. Hook is great from Blitzcranker. The ultimate from Bully Bear to secure it. He got stunned by the Echo W before he even got out with the EQ. So it's just it's a really unlucky game for 705 Stinger, but it goes back to that first blood, and it's really on them.
What is
Zeri jumping into the
enemy
team. Yeah, this is just dead.
She's walking the wrong way. She's gonna.
This is a dead Zeri and Yuumi. They're both gone.
Absolutely. Damage.
Both gone. Goodbye.
All right on the Nautilus ult. Zesty now showing up. Beffin's gonna secure it. Yum is bad here. The Yuumi definitely gonna go down as well. No flash. No nothing. They're just lambs to the slot.
Indeed, they are, Clay. 10K gold lead right now for the way of Apple Valley. Absolutely dominating through the start of game number 1 and on pace for a perfect game right now. Another
gonna land the
hook.
hook. Scatter
I
the
mean,
weak is
dude,
really good, but I don't think
doesn't
there's
even
anything
matter.
Sushi BM can do here. It's called.
Spot lane's way too fed.
Now for the side of Rogers, but honestly, they're not gonna help that much. Lagadas is almost gonna pick up the turret here as well. Beffin 301, Tristana 707, Blitzcranker 7010. Rai
Ziri's
get
standing
hooked
still
in.
in the middle of lane.
CC, no damage follow up right now. Calls is coming in.
Jarvan gonna
705
EQ
Stinger
in.
coming here to defend. He's gonna jump in. Gonna get rooted up here. Could he
So
look
dead.
for nothing?
So dead. I mean,
Yeah,
they just fed way too hard in the bot lane, man. Like, there's no other way to break it. Like, this is... Both bot laners can honestly probably fend off a 1v3 at this point. They're probably sitting on like
Absolutely.
2k to 3k gold at the minimum right now. So, like, we're going to see another completed item at least for both champs when they base. Third dragon coming up right now. It is the Chemtech dragon. Chemtrek, I don't know what that is.
Who
A
knows?
little bit of a fumbling of my words. But yeah, 3-0 dragon lead, 2-0 turret lead, 19-0 kill lead. Apple Valley pulling up and dominating this game number one. It would take a miracle for Rogers to be able to bring this one back.
Absolutely. It wouldn't just take a miracle. I think
It'd take a
Rogers is
few.
going to need the second coming of Christ.
No, they're going to need
To
a
put it
few
simply.
miracles. Yeah, a few miracles.
Absolutely.
1980
Damage
Lake
coming out
Placid
now.
Olympics,
Trade.
like you name it.
Absolutely.
Nautilus is going into a 1v3
Blitzcranker.
right now.
He's going
he
on to the
does not
Syndra.
care.
He's blizzard them.
Okay,
He's
like
gone.
that
He
is
can't do it. That was questionable. But now 3v2, Eggsy's gonna go down with the Volibear ult. He's looking for Larive, and he's outranged. Now the rest of
good
Apple Valley
Zeri.
showing up here. Calls
I mean,
the damage.
Blitzcranker, that was just comedy, man. Blitzcranker is showing that he doesn't care what the odds are, diving into a 1v3, and Rogers going to get their first kill on the board, but at what cost is the question, Clay May, as they lose another tower in the top side. Two more of their teammates fall. A flash out from Dagados.
705
follow
Stinger,
flash from Jarvan.
Ooh. He's trying to chase, but the slows from the Q. Not gonna be able to get it.
Oh my goodness.
Now, bot lane and Zesty moving up on his Stinger. There's no way for him to really get out of this, regardless of what he has. Calls legendary 1008. Calls is honestly just stomping that. Cranker. Certainly my match MVP point. Eggsy now. Silencing on to Beffin. There's no way Eggsy's going to be able to secure this kill, even with Sushi BM coming up. Just the pseudo tankiness of the Echo there. Gonna go over the Dragon Pit. Yeah. Apple Valley pulling out ahead.
Apple Valley. I mean, we talked about it multiple times, Clay. The importance of an early game, the importance of
Oh,
not
the
just-
hook!
Oh, big damage.
Sushi BM. Oh, the re-engage. Ooh, Cinderalt coming out. Not gonna be able to get
Good hook.
it back. No kill so far. Oh, the goaded hook. Turret
Echo
shot.
W to stun.
Stinger
Tristana
stunned up
jumping
from
in.
the Echo.
Volibear dive.
getting
Turret
another.
goes disabled.
Here he goes. Stuns onto Sushi BM. Calls jumping in
Dead
as well.
Garen.
Eggsy's in a
This
bad
one.
spot. Spinning around. Spinning straight into Doom.
Yeah, this one's
Apple
looking
Valley.
chalked.
25.
Inhib turret gonna drop. Second coming of Shelly getting dropped into the mix. And I mean, Apple Valley have the means to put a close to this show right now. Still have Malphite Ultimate available along with the Tristana Buster Shot. So, if they play it right, they could take it home right here.
Stinger
Rogers
jumping,
going
but
in
he's-
for
where
a
is he
desperation
going?
fight. And 705
do?
Stinger just not on the same page as his teammates. 0-8 now on the Jarvan.
Definitely not. Jarvan looking like one of my solo Q junglers. But, you know, Apple Valley also just kind of winning this game. We saw that from the first minute, that pick on a 705 Stinger. Definitely been a weak point for Rogers, but also the Zeri 070, Yumi 061. They haven't been looking too good. Just the power of Apple Valley's bot lane. was overpowering Rogers. There's nothing they can do. It's now Zesty
is-
calls a 2v1 the Baron. The rest of
Yeah.
Apple Valley
The
showing up.
biggest problem here, Clay, is they had vision. They saw Echo leaving their jungle, and the lack of game sense coming out of 705 Stinger to just waltz back into your jungle where you just saw the bad guys leading from is honestly completely on them. Burns the flash, gets no leash, and is therefore behind the entirety of the game in the jungle aspect. And you know who got that first blood, right? I'm pretty sure it was Tristana. Tristana goes to lane with an advantage and an immediate capitalization of that pressure in the lane. They dominate the entirety of the game, and it's going to lead to a closeout right here, Clay.
Absolutely. Apple Valley looking to end it. Gonna need a miracle defense from Roger. 705 Stinger jumping in. He's ulting on the Calls, but Calls is just gonna jump out. Now Lurai coming in for some damage. Could be able to get it. Jump in from Blitzcrank. From Oliver. And Calls actually getting very low here.
Yeah,
But
not going to
get
happen.
out.
29-2. They pick up their second kill onto Blitzcranker, the only player to go down for the side of Apple Valley in true support fashion. But that's going to do it. Game number 1 going handedly in the books, the way of Apple Valley absolutely starching this Rogers squad here in game number 1.
That's that.
Yeah,
What
you
did
know,
we just witness?
705 Stinger left the game, and I don't know if they were clocked in at the start of that game because, man, the ward being in your jungle, there is no excuse for you going down and just walking back into your jungle blindly. Your bot lane is nowhere protecting your jungle. Your bot lane's in base, and you know this too. I mean, just a very poor mistake and no recovery ever off the back of that, right? Like, they took it and they ran with it. And that's what a good team will do in League of Legends, right? That one first blood is all they needed to snowball the entirety of the game. You know what I'm saying? Clay, I mean, you talk to him about it because that's the snowball effect that we were trying to reference in full effect.
Absolutely. Al being able to capitalize off that early play also could be a bit of a confidence booster. You execute really well early, even if it's from a mistake by Rogers, but you're already getting that, and now you feel like you're ahead. Because feeling like you're ahead is almost more important than just being ahead. Because then
Yep.
you're going to play more aggressive, and we saw that from Blitzcranker. Absolutely, he's so fun to watch. Can't wait for
Dude,
this game too, man.
Blitzcranker's
more
good,
hooks.
man. Been watching Blitzcranker for a bit. Definitely named themselves wisely because you can't just be scared of the Blitzcrank. Every single hook champion, this dude is profession on. Okay, he's put in the time. He's put in the work. He's been hooking bots in custom games for hours. Okay, that's his warm up. He just puts a couple of target dummies out and he just starts
sure.
hooking the bots. Okay, just warming that up. I mean, that's good stuff. Overall, Apple Valley absolute domination in game number 1. I mean, any closing thoughts from your end?
Let's hope we don't see that in game 2, because frankly, Rogers they just needed to find a way into that off that level 1, but they couldn't because 705 Stinger was on the back foot the whole time. He can't put lane pressure. He put nothing up towards top side till after the super early laning phase, and he kept looking bot, but the bot lane was already ahead for Apple Valley, so there wasn't anything he could do there.
Yeah, I mean, a bit of a tough situation indeed. I'm not sure if we're taking a break now. I think okay, we're good. We're good. We're gonna run it. Smooth is one way to put it.
Yeah.
We are getting ready for Apple Valley Rogers game 2. We're gonna keep it on us, which is definitely pressure on now, Clay. What do we want to talk about, man?
Sure.
I'll let you guide this topic of conversation. What do you want to talk about? What does Rogers need to do different? I mean, okay, their bot lane needs to like be in the game at the start of the game, and they should be warding like bot lane tribush to avoid something like that happening. They put a ward on their top, or closer to mid lane. It's still bottom river, but it's the top side of bottom river, which did give information. However, if you just get out onto the map earlier on for the side of Rogers and you get that tribush warded in bot lane, you completely negate that entry point that Apple Valley used, and They just actually snowballed the whole game off that early invade, and it's kind of a shame that Rogers was not prepared for that invade.
Absolutely. Might sound like we're repeating ourselves here about that invade, but it was so crucial to the start of the game. And also, what you talked about with the bot lane from Rogers getting there late, not buying
Yeah,
items or whatever, that was also a crucial mistake. So Rogers sowing some cracks around the edges there, because that's just a fundamental, is buying your starting items.
for
Meanwhile,
sure.
Apple Valley, they already got them. They're already in your jungle by the time you're reaching it. They're just playing squeaky clean. They're looking to
Yep.
soar to a 2-0 victory here over Rogers.
Yep. And yeah, for Rogers, I mean, it's tough, right? You are now down 3-0 to Apple Valley. And I mean, that win, we didn't see how
Yeah.
preseason went, but if it was anything similar to that win, then Rogers must be feeling demoralized, to be completely honest, because the only reason they got kills that game is because Blitzcranker suicided. Like,
Yeah, but
I mean, Blitzcranker chose to die. He chose to die in that game when he went in 1v3. Otherwise, there is no tell that Apple Valley was going to give up an elimination in that game. I mean, that was just very clean played.
for sure.
They're always fighting together. They're always baiting in Rogers to a fight that they think they can win. And I'm doing air quotes for a reason, because Apple Valley was not dropping fights. Okay. They were
Oh,
always
definitely
on
not.
point.
For sure. We saw clean play from everyone in their squad. Zesty playing really well, of course. We didn't see too much out of the Malphite in the top side, but I'm sure I'm sure he was doing pretty good. He's outclassing the Garen a lot in that laning. Also, Beffin playing really well. We saw that one early game, the ult back in onto Syndra, getting some early damage there, early pressure there. Really being able to work that lane to his advantage, even if it ended up even. And then he's got the rest of his team backing him up. So, frankly, they have Apple Valley has every lane to play through. Rogers, maybe not so much.
And the thing is about the Malphite lane, right? Like, Malphite's doing all he has to do. He's out farming the Garen. He's going to have more impact when it comes to team fights. His one job is just to not feed the Garen, right? Because if Garen gets rolling, that's when Garen becomes the menace. That's when he becomes the side lane bully and he really starts to dominate the 1v1. That was never the case. Malphite played it right? Perfect timing on the ultimates in the fights, and really did their job. I mean, top lane's on an island for a reason. Everybody knows it. Riot's been trying to remove the role
Yeah.
basically from playing the game with those teleport nerfs. Like, top lane used to be fun.
Yeah.
You used to like teleport into fights early on. You used to be able to cancel teleport. It used to be like actually interactive, but now top lane's more of like two people up on an island. No jungler really wants to go up there because there's not a lot of resources around
Yeah.
that area. It needs a rework, man. Top lane needs help. So that's
Absolutely.
my PSA to Riot Games. Please help the top lane. Top lane needs some help, man.
Absolutely.
We don't need to go
Do you
back to
really?
like bruiser meta, for the one
Yeah.
worlds. We don't need to go that far back, but top lane needs a little love too. Okay, come on now. Right, you're better than that.
Absolutely. If you really want to turn your brain off, just play split pushing Yorick in the top lane. You just go up there, you just keep walking up lane. You don't show up to any fight. You don't show up to dragons or rifts, even if you're up there, because you're just pushing. You just say to your team, I'm split pushing, I'm split pushing. It's a strategy. And then it ends up not working because your team just can't win a 4v5 every single time. You have
Dude,
to win off the back of that.
split push Yorick is dope though. Yorick puts in some mad work on the split push. Maiden goes crazy on that split push, especially with Hullbreaker. I mean, I've been personally whooped on by some Yoricks in solo queue. So definitely keep our eyes peeled. Rogers adaptions for game 2, man. You can't die. Okay. You are not allowed to die before minions spawn. This is the Skepta. This is the new Skepta rule, and this goes for every single League of Legends team that plays under MNVL banners. If you are dropping first blood before minions spawn, you are not even giving yourself a chance to play the game. So let's clean it up in the early game. Champion select right now. Take it away, Clay.
Hopping right in. All right. On the same sides here, Nautilus ban. Not too unexpected, but of course, he can just play any of the other 4 hook champions. So it's not really that useful of a ban here. We're going to see what comes out from Apple Valley. Looking here to see if Zesty's going to ban. The Viego. I believe we saw that last game on the same side. So another jungle pressure there from 705 Stinger, even though he didn't have another game. And there's the Blitzcrank ban. So 2 hooks are out. Let's see if we can get to 3. The third from Rogers.
This is the thing, though, Clay, is you can only ban 1, and there's 2 more hook champs that I'm thinking of right now. So go ahead and ban it. It doesn't matter, though. If Apple Valley wants to get a hook champion, they are getting a hook champion. So this is just another sign that, like, the game plan is, I mean, Pike's not as tanky, or, you know, he's more slippery in and out of the fight than the other 3. So he is the least like the others, to put it. But at the end of the day, Blitzcranker is still getting that hook engage style of champion that he so prefers, if that's the route they choose to go. Jack's the first lock-in for Eggsy this game, switching from the Garen, and now the man we brought up in the first game, Xingzhou, coming out for the side of AVHS.
Yep. Now there's
staying with the Malphite.
Karthus. Definitely an interesting
jungle
pick. Haven't seen too much Karthus lately. Kiana as well, a bit lower on the pick rate. She's pretty hard to play, so definitely a difficult execution there for C. Also, just to bring back the bans from Rogers, or from Apple Valley, the first 3, I believe they were the exact same. The Zeri now changing it up a bit, definitely onto Larai. Didn't really have any moments to shine on the Zeri and see what we could really do from him, but who knows? We'll see what comes out here. Can we get the 4th hook?
I mean, at this point, you might as well ban it, because they didn't draft it. We don't know how it went in pro draft selection, but yeah, I mean, you can't not ban it at this point. You've committed to going down the ban route. You've got to stick it through. So they finish it out. All 4 hook champions banned away from Blitzcranker. Wukong final ban the way of AVHS. What do Rogers close out their bans with? They go for Rel. So a 5-man ban against Blitzcranker.
For sure. Definitely spotting him out as the star of
And there's
Apple
his Galio,
Valley.
man.
But
And
honestly,
there's his Galio.
Yep. Saw that in their week 1 win over STMA, I believe. So
oh my goodness.
Definitely another aggressive pick there.
Dude.
What is
this composition is...
What is this?
I don't even... Oh my god, man.
I'm
actually grossed out. Like, I don't want to be that negative, but this comp is so bad from Rogers. They have one frontliner, and he's not even a real tank. All right. Hey, you know what?
Tank Karthus.
Yeah, Tank Karthus. Tank Yumi, by the way. Tank Yumi, by the way.
Oh yeah, too, because she, you know, frontlines so much and takes so much damage. Totally isn't invulnerable the whole game.
This composition. Okay, we're good. I'm gonna pretend like it's better than it is. Let's just focus on Apple Valley, man, because this Apple Valley comp is almost the same thing that we just saw the game before. Okay, again, all 5 of these champions bringing that engage factor. So Apple Valley showing that they have one way of playing the game, and it is forward in your face. We want to kill you. We want to be up on top, and just put down the bait down. That's the way Apple Valley plays, man. And we're seeing it based off their pick ban again here for game number 2.
Absolutely. Large champion variety, but all the champions play to that same style. Really excited to see what we can get from Blitzcranker here again, as we saw that awesome engage from him last time, triple kill. See if he gets another triple. Have to wait about that.
I'm going to be honest.
And you said Rogers was gross. And I would not want to play against or with them.
I need to look up quals right now, because I need to know how much time they have on the Xerath bot lane pick. The main reason I say it's a gross pick, okay, 1 Xerath game that I'm seeing here. So, and they won, and they played great on it. So looking good. They have been practicing some mages in the bot lane recently. So definitely a style that Rogers have been trying to pilot. It didn't go their way last game. So you know what? Flip it, go for that mage bot lane. You know, the 80 carry matchup wasn't working. The positives that Xerath brings are he's a mage, so he has spells. He casts from a little bit more distance away. He can stay at a safer range. And I think the big thing is Yumi cannot be getting caught freely. Yumi needs to be on top of this Xerath at almost all times because Yuumi was just getting caught out solo a little
sure.
bit too much for my liking there, Clay, in that first game.
Yeah, we didn't like that. The poke from the Xerath can be pretty annoying in lane to
Yep.
deal with. But I
And
mean,
good sustain from Yuumi,
the
right? Like
comp
there's
was not pretty.
no, it's not. And I hate to be that guy. Karthus jungle's sick. I play a lot of Karthus jungle. You can get going very easily and you can take over a game. However, it's the same thing with like if you get put behind, you're kind of useless because you're a mage. You're trying to take over as many resources as you can as the Karthus. His clearing is like top 2 clear speeds in the entire game for junglers. Like he's got ridiculous clearing, but he's very vulnerable in his jungle. He doesn't have mobility, you know? So like there's, and with every single champion having that dash style can get on top of you for the side of Apple Valley. It just, I'm nervous. I'm nervous for Rogers. You know, I don't want to see a team get beat like that. Okay, chat. I'm not just flaming. I'm looking out for all my MNVL teams. I care about all of them. All right. I can't see a team take a beating like that. It's tough. All right. It's tough. But hey, you learn from your losses. You brush that dirt off your shoulder if you're Rogers. You step back into the server and you're going to take it right to Apple Valley for game number 2. You have to if you want to find your first win of the season, Clay. What do you need to see from Rogers coming into this game? I've talked a lot. I want to hear what you need to see from Rogers.
We are going to need to see no deaths. Just simply no deaths. Just kind of relax a bit. Yeah, no deaths. Right. Big old 0 on that. Of course, Apple Valley, we're only going to try and capitalize on it. But for Rogers, they just need to find a way to play the game and find their style, because Apple Valley certainly has theirs. And you talked about learning from their mistakes, but again, Rogers faced Apple Valley and they lost. So not sure if that really played much of a factor into this game here.
You know, third time's the charm. So after the third one now, we're going to start to make. Yep, that was the third time. Well, fourth time. You got 3 strikes. Now they're getting it, man. Come on. You know what I'm trying to say? All right, like
3
come
strikes,
on, Rogers.
You're in. That's what's happening.
You're in. Yes,
exactly.
Not the rules of baseball here, man.
Well, this isn't baseball. This is League of Legends.
This isn't baseball. This is League of Legends. I think. Well, Rogers really only had 1 strike and they were out last game. So hopefully no strikes pre-minions. We're going into game, folks. Thanks for sticking with us. Game number 2, and wow, it's an invade already.
What is Sushi PM?
What are we doing? What was that flash from Blitzcranker?
We just got here, man.
That flash was actually just brutal. Oh my goodness, man. Apple Valley just fearless to the bone. Giving no cares, sprinting into the enemy jungle and taking it by force. Okay, key highlights right here, right now. Let's run down the summoner list. We got top lane Eggsy running Ignite this game, playing for the solo kill. Karthus, a champion that I said doesn't have good mobility or a get out of jail card, running Exhaust instead of Flash, so now never has a get out of jail free card. I'm going to put a question mark on that one, 705. Barrier for the Xerath.
Yep.
Heal and exhaust for Yuumi, so super safe in the bot lane. I like that. And look at this. Rogers invading Apple Valley's bot side this time and staining the blue buff, and they have no vision on this. So not going to know that this blue buff getting taken out right from underneath their noses. It's a trading up. Wait, no, never mind. The ward's there. I'm trolling. I didn't see the ward. Okay. They know exactly what's going on.
It was out of vision. You can see.
Yep, it was out of vision. So don't blame me. I'm not that much of a noob. Trading. This is like that old split style of jungling, though. Both junglers invading each other on the counter side of it.
Counter strike.
Knock up for Galio.
And the E onto Larai. Just
where
trying
is
to harass
Yuumi?
Here early. Double ignite for the bot lane. Yeah, where
this Yuumi
taken?
I don't even know. That pathing makes no sense. But anyways, Dagada's losing the trade in top lane. Level lead for Eggsy right now, plus Ignite advantage. That Jax should be in the advantageous spot of that matchup for this one.
Absolutely. And I think I just mentioned it before you start talking. The double Ignite for the bot lane.
Ignite on the top lane.
Counter-strike coming out. The stun. The
Jax
Ignite.
going for it.
Taking away.
Oh my
the flash
goodness.
in. Oh, is he going to get taken out by the turret? He is.
Oh Oh,
Dagadas is
no!
gonna live. It's
Mayday,
over. Just the
mayday!
Demon King now. Look at the 705
What is this
Stinger.
Zinzao?
Kited. He has the flash.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
Sushi
Okay.
BM, but Beffin is here.
1-1.
Hey, hey. Yeah, that's. Uh-oh. Ah, there we go. Well,
Dude,
guess what?
that is so
Rogers having a
unlucky
gold
for
lead.
Eggsy in the top lane. One auto away, goes for the flash, canceled the auto. The kill goes the way of Dagadas. Big first blood picked up by Apple Valley. Immediately traded back, though, by Rogers, countering the too much aggression from Zesty. Great collapse by Sushi BM, picking up that kill. And a big highlight, Sushi was doing so good on the Syndra. With this kill on Kiana, we know Kiana can take over a game. That assassin playstyle is deadly. Can Sushi get Rogers over the hump in this game here? Play.
Well, it's going to probably take a bit more than that, as we saw a spectacular showing from Apple Valley in the previous game. Now, another stun coming onto Dagadas. Eggsy trying to get some damage in here, but he's going to get taken lower than Dagadas is ever going to get. Especially Dagadas playing the grass. Jack's playing lethal tempo there.
The massive problem for this top lane is Jax took the Ignite, gambled on winning lane, and then gave first blood. So, like, lane is already done for the time being. Jax scales very well, so he will eventually be able to get back with that Ignite. But for the time being, Malphite has, burn teleport to get back to lane. Gonna be just at a stronger stage than Jax is right now. Very good poke, too, coming out, chipping away the Jax. Top lane back in favor of AVHS.
Yeah, for sure. Game maybe looking to be back in favor of AVHS as well. They're trying to exert the early game pressure, but a better early game from Rogers as well. I think last time they already had lost 4 members at this point. But at level 1,
oh boy, Sushi gonna go down. Ignite
Beffin?
will
Is he gonna
tick
burn
him
the
down.
minion damage? Oh,
good trade of
one
kills
in the mid lane. Yeah.
And look at that Kiana. Picking up the serrated Dirk plus a couple of longsword or another longsword to go with it. So plenty of damage coming out in the mid lane. Fizz gonna pick up that lost chapter. And now Zinzao at the bot lane position. The gank is in. The flash out from
going in.
Xerath.
The taunt is onto the Yuumi. He's connected. Looks like the Rai's gonna get out, but Yummy is bad is not so lucky. Xerath right to his doom. Their doom.
Yuumi really needs to stop just leaving the AD carry. It's making me feel like they don't know how to play Yuumi, you know? Like, you're safe when you're in a champion.
Oh, no,
when you come out of the champion... Oh, boy, what a sick stun.
Huge. Sushi BM taking a lot of damage from Beffin. Gonna dash their way out. Tons of dashes on that Kiana. So, gonna get out of that one there. Definitely some early game aggression from Beffin in this mid lane matchup. Jumping back.
Dragon being started up the way of Apple Valley. Should be uncontested.
Oh.
Kiana starting to struggle just a little bit. Fizz going to start to go for a dive. Malphite ulti's in on top.
Comes out,
and
but
Sushi
no
goes
way.
down.
Big early game run. Dagadas heal from Beffin. Don't necessarily need regardless. Now, gonna pick up a turret plate here.
Stinger struggling to clear this blue buff. Will be able to get it and get that mana starting to regen for himself. Nice taunt coming out from Galio. Xerath a little bit too close. Going to eat a lot of damage from that Tristana.
Stun's coming back out. Poke here. Again, Galio's going to last, especially with that magic sealed from the passive. Going to help him out a bit here. But definitely pushing up here for Apple Valley. Trying to look for some early game aggression here like they did last game. They're also up 2 kills. They're also up 1,500 gold right now, so pretty solid early game, but a bit less explosive than we saw in game 1.
Yeah, not going as crazy. Still doing a good job. 4-2 as we currently stand. 1.5k gold lead and a dragon account. Nice flash engage from Galio. No
Stun,
flash out from
falls.
the Xerath, and that's a dead Xerath. The heal going to save his life, plus barrier not used. So heal coming through to save the Xerath. Nicely timed use summoner from the Yuumi. Now trying to clear out the wave with the ultimate ability.
Nicely done there from Rai to have the game sense to use that ult back. But still getting completely pushed out. Beffin also doing really well in the mid lane too. He's up 2-1 right now over Sushi BM. Also up about 15 CS. Just looking at the lane matchups here. Dagaras up 20 on the Jax right now. Another huge one. On the bright side for Rogers, 705 Stinger's up a little bit. He's kind of been playing passive this game, but that's kind of just how Karthus has to do it. Not a super aggressive or super great ganking jungler, so he's playing well right now. Better than last game.
Mid lane being one of the most even matchups, I'd say, between these two squads. Top lane getting
definitely
bested both times, coming out for Dagadas. Now Counter-Strike jump in from the Jax, trying to start this trade out in his favor, but Malphite just slows him and walks away like a Chad.
Oh, for sure. Definitely a stat checking champ there. Not super skillful on the Malphite. But I mean, you can play a really good Malphite. You know how to press the R and, knock up a whole team, and then your job is done. Then you just smack them, punch them around a bit. Who knows? Dagadas being able to do punching really well here. See in a game too.
Karthus coming in the mid lane to help out Sushi. Xin Zhao on the run. Malphite here to help out though. 705 Stinger could get baited into this if they step forward, but Ward will spot out the Xin Zhao and the Malphite. Jack's down here as well, so could have a bit of a ruckus in the mid lane.
Absolutely. 3v3 down here. Damage coming out. Ooh. Taunt is going to land onto Larai. Damage coming out. Calls. Obviously not going to jump in on that. But the minion wave's so short and Blitzcrank not really having an angle. But, yeah. Story seems to be going the right act, but Rogers is out of it. They're only down 2 kills. Dragon, and gold. It's very, very winnable for both teams. And that's what we're hoping to see in this matchup. A bit more evenness rather than a stomp, but so CBM trading onto Beffin. He's gonna get taken low. The Ignite's gonna go. He's gonna flash out just to live. Now another taunt landing, but Call's not quite there to follow up. Rai though, is gonna stay in with Eggsy coming down. Eggsy jumping on onto Blitzcranker. He's got the counter strike. He's got the stun. He's got the kill. Now Beffin in a 2v1
705.
He's gonna pick up 1.
Karthus ultimate.
Is he gonna
Not
live?
enough damage. Beffin gonna
Wow.
playful trickster his way out of the last Karthus Q to survive an outplay from the Fizzerino. Big play for Beffin. Apple Valley up 5-3.
Yeah,
Man,
Fizz.
Beffin's
one of those
styling
champs
on
a
the
little hard to
Fizz.
deal with.
And the thing is, and I want to give a quick shout out, Apple Valley's coach, Wallyford, a Fizz specialist. So you know he's taught Beffin every trick under the sun, or more likely under the sea, for Fizz's sake. That was pretty cringe.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have gone there, but I did. You know what? I did it.
No, it was just
So
a good
deal with
line.
it,
It was a
Twitch
good
chat.
line.
Deal with it, Twitch chat. I'm cringe like that.
Yeah, come on.
I'm
is what you're
a
gonna
League of
get
Legends
from
player.
Play main
Come
Skep.
on.
Yeah. We got our own
You know
style. We know what we're doing.
Darn well I'm going to be cringe on the cast. And have a good time while I'm doing it. So way better start for Rogers. I'm gonna give them one of those. Just a quick clap because they definitely have learned from their early game last game. They went for an invade themselves, okay? So got to give credit where credit's due. And they looked like they were ready to go from the get-go in this match. Now, Xin Zhao and Galio coming down bot side. No action to be had
Smack
yet.
it up
Now
there.
705 Stinger walking in too
Sit-
far
sit.
forward. And goodbye, buddy. I mean, Karthus with no flash. That's the one
Yep.
thing that I did not approve of. Okay, that one I can't give the sign off on that one, partner. Gonna need to run that flash.
Oh,
Otherwise, you're just a sitting duck, man. Especially against a champion like Xin Zhao. Once he ease onto you, what are you gonna do? You're never gonna get away. He's gonna knock you up. He's gonna slow you. He's gonna jump on you again. Like there's too many champions that have dashes and abilities to get on top of you. And if your champion doesn't have anything like that, and he's, you know, not mobile, pretty stationary, you should think about running flash. There's a reason everybody be running flash, right?
for sure. Definitely the most universal summoner spell, most universally used. Rare scenarios you see it not used, and 705 Stinger trying to pull out one of those. It's not going to work. The flash. Flash response from Mirai. Stun's coming out. Now some play onto the top side onto Dagadas, but he's already chunked Eggsy low. Eggsy fucking out. Dagadas thinks he's going to finish him off.
Ooh, good
Straight back
damage.
onto Sushi BM. Doesn't quite have the damage.
Dagadas putting in work again in the top lane here, up almost 50 whole CS against his counterpart. He is, I mean, and that's going all in for the laning phase for Eggsy running the Ignite and absolutely biting the bullet on this one. Malphite putting in work.
Yep, saw that in Dagadas. Now, definitely some similar plays here. Similar style, similar aggression, just less kills. That's the big thing that we've seen a lot less of, is less kills. Rogers not giving over as many. Apple Valley maybe not being able to take as many. Maybe a little more passive play from Rogers. But the thing is, they're still down almost 6,000 gold, almost 5,000, almost 4K. But yeah, it's early game. Still not quite going their way. 2 dragons as well for the side of Apple Valley.
Yeah, Apple Valley has done a lights-out job of neutral objective control. They have not lost a single neutral objective to Rogers so far. Perfect on Dragons last game, perfect on Rift Heralds, and they secured the win with a Baron. So, uh-oh, Shark coming out. Sushi in trouble.
On to Sushi.
I mean, he's
jumping
so
in.
dead. Good night, buddy.
Yeah.
Once that Shark's on top of you, you're sleeping with the fishes, my friend.
For sure. Just where Fizz is trying to put you, with the fishes, with them. He's going to take you down.
Let me at him. That's that Fizz. Uh-oh.
Is that you?
Ultimate coming out. Karthus ultimate now on
See,
top.
Karthus ult,
Jackson a
be some big
1v2.
damage. 705 Stinger needs to get in here. Eggsy's just going to go
Galio
down.
ultimate.
Zinjao
Oh,
coming in.
Malphite coming in.
Galio ult. 705 Stinger is going to go down as well. Slipping away from Rogers here.
Yeah, no, the biggest thing that we're noticing about these fights, okay? Apple Valley always, when they say, they verbalize it to their team because their players are already always collapsing before the fight takes place. Rogers is never moving before the fight takes place. They all start moving as the fight is happening, and that is just too late. Apple Valley is looking ahead. They are planning on fighting, and their teammates are rotating over in advance. That is something that is required in League of Legends team play, and Rogers are finding out the hard way. There's a reason that Apple Valley always has a man advantage in these team fights, Clay, and that is the main reason. Their rotations and their macro play are crisper than what Rogers is delivering.
Absolutely, Skep. Apple Valley is playing proactive rather than Rogers' style of reactive. And in League of Legends, proactive is going to net you a lot more resources. It's going to be able for you to have more control over the game, more control over the action, over that control. Really, what ends up winning games. And Apple Valley is exerting their control excellently right now. Bit of a chunk on to Dagadas. We'll walk it off. Rogers gonna need to look for some angle. Probably a pick onto maybe Dagadas or Zesty, but I don't think gonna allow that.
705 in trouble. Drops the exhaust on his Xin Zhao and just has to give. I mean, this poor Karthus, like we said, once Karthus gets behind, you know, it's like kind of he's struggling, right? He doesn't do enough damage to be like a super threat. He's always getting caught out because he literally has no movement, and he's just like Karthus himself, the character, is slow. He moves slow. Nice engage, though, coming out. trying to flip the script. Rogers taking a fight on their terms. A flash out from Malphite. Beautiful Kiana ulti to follow. Xerath ultimate raining down on Apple Valley. Damage coming back their way. Zin's out trying to turn the fight, but Xerath gets a big kill. Fizz coming in the back line. Unstoppable for Bethan. And all of a sudden, Apple Valley biting off more than they can chew, and Rogers punch back.
What a nice engage there.
What a fight.
Find an angle, absolutely. Find something that they wanted to take, been able to pick up some kills. Maybe if they're going to be fully back into this game, even that might have been a big help there. Item buys. It's like Mythics coming out for everyone.
Absolutely a big help.
Apple Valley.
The best thing that you can do, in League when you're behind is trade with the other team. If you are trading kills, kill for kill, it is positive for the team that is losing because you are gaining gold, you are getting closer to getting back into this, you're getting more items. There's a certain point in League where you hit the hard cap. You hit level 18, you max out all your items, and you can't get any stronger, okay? Apple Valley playing with fire a little bit, and they end up getting burned. A great engage from the Jax, great follow-up, a beautiful Kiana ultimate following through as well, and Rogers finally coming through with one of their best fights of the series so far here, Clay.
For sure, we didn't see too last game, so definitely one of the best one here. Sushi BM, that great ult. He also played the Cinder pretty well, and so for Rogers' side, I think he's IPP for them. Of course, Blitzcranker is just too good, but Beffin has really been the focus here. An engage and a dead Karthus. And that's kind of how it goes. One engage, Karthus. And now another engage on Delore. Fall is jumping in here. 2 more kills going over to the Fizz.
Yeah, 1 engage, 1 dead Karthus. I mean, that might have to be the quote of the day. And I mean, that's just learning the hard way again for 705 Stinger, right? You don't bring that flash, and they're getting punished at every single turn, right? Because they can never get out of a situation. The second that one of these AVHS players is on top of that Karthus, dead in the water, if you want me to be honest. Baron getting started up. Apple Valley looking to start to put the closing touches to this series.
Yep. 4-0 preseason game for Apple Valley over Rogers. They've been one of the best teams, and they're going to be one of the best this season. Baron is taking a hot minute because it's only a minute they're going to get there regardless. Now, that's huge buff for the side of Apple Valley. Tons more, lot more pushing power for these lanes. They're going to be able to fully exert their pressure here. Dragon's finding in 320, quite be up for that, but I don't know if it's going to matter. The amount of pressure they're going to be able to put there for Rogers might just be too much.
Yeah, Rogers not completely out of it, but definitely at a disadvantage for the time being. Baron empowered Apple Valley slowly working their way up the map, trying to get all lanes pushed out at the same timer to create maximum pressure against this Rogers squad.
Yeah. Absolutely there. Roger is going to need to find a way to respond. We're going to need to look for another engage like we saw earlier here. Bit of a trade coming out on the Dagadas. He's going to be slowed. Should be able to walk out. Stun's going to miss. Bit of pressure there. But they're just going to have to clear these waves. Sushi BM on the bot side getting it. But a lot of pressure here onto the mid lane tier 3 turret from Apple Valley. They're going to get down as XZ can't defend it by himself. They're going to get the inhibitor as well. So now we have the super minions coming in the mid lane. 705
dead
Stinger
Karthus
walking up. There's 1 engage and 1 dead Karthus.
What a surprise. Yeah, I mean, that's just a fumble in the summoner spell selection, right? Like, they know exactly what they're doing every time they see that Karthus. If he's even a centimeter too far forward, he is dead. Like, Karthus needs to play the game perfectly. And that's just impossible. So, goodbye, Karthus, my friend. Goodbye.
Sure.
Tough.
To get picked off. The Galio dashing in, Fizz dashing, Tristana jumping on you. Malphite
Xin Zhao
coming in
lands
to
a
back it
W.
up with the ult.
Karthus is slowed,
That
and
too,
Xin Zhao can
yeah.
E from Narnia. Like, there's no possible way. Karthus needs to sit all the way back. And the thing is, too, Clay, they don't have a good enough front line for Karthus to just sit back. There's nobody that can stand in front. Only Jax can do that. And if Jax is in the sideline, 705 Stinger feels like it's their responsibility to step up and play in front like junglers normally do. And that's just not the case given this composition, folks. Building your team comp is very important, okay? Another PSA coming out from me to you. We got to think about the bases. You guys remember the food pyramid? Okay? You guys aren't that far out of elementary. So, like, you remember the food pyramid. You need the veggies. You need the fruit. You need your bread. You need your meat. You need some milk. You need it all. Where is the tank on this Rogers team comp? I'm starting to lose it,
man.
Clay. I don't know.
You know it's a bad game when Skep's going down the drain. But anyways,
Hey,
the
it's
Jax is
not a
also
bad
just
game.
so far
Fun
out
game.
of this fight.
Fun game.
A fun game, yeah. Yeah,
Fun
for
game,
sure. Fun
my
game.
friend. Fun game. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Fizzarino
Ooh, the ult's
sends...
gonna land.
Yeah.
Sushi BM.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. That shark is doing disgusting damage. 18 stacks on the Medjai Soul Stealer. Fizz is in absolute activation mode. I mean, we might even have to check and make sure Wallyford's not playing on that Fizz right now. Because I'm having some hard time being convinced otherwise.
Absolutely.
The Fizz master teaching his Padawan Beffin, and I'm seeing a mirror image. 10-1-1 on the Fizz, 190 CS, absolute MVP performance coming out of Beffin here in game number 2.
Oh, for sure. Now Apple Valley picking up the Mountain Dragon Soul. Gonna be some extra shielding, extra tankiness there.
Uh-oh, Eggsy.
Eggsy
Starts
like
the
he's
counter-strike.
caught on him. He's gonna die very quickly here.
Oh, boy.
Let's crank
He's
her.
so dead. Yeah, you know. Team comps, am I right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Team comps and flash on Karthus. Those are the two things you can take away from this.
Yep. Must, I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna write that down.
Like Rogers needs to write that down.
Yeah, no. It is what it is. And I mean, you know, this is early on in the season. Game number 2 for Rogers, learning what they want to play, right? So gonna have to take a page out of Apple Valley's book, see how much frontlining they have. 3 players on this Apple Valley team can stand in front of the rest of the squad and impose their will against this Rogers team because nobody on that team can match that. There's no Macho Man on that side. Eggsy's trying, but we said it earlier. That Jax is a pseudo tank. He's not a full-blown tank. And look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Where'd he go?
The Jax is so far behind. Lurai, where are you going, my guy? Sushi BM jumping in on the calls.
The flash in.
The flash.
Oh my goodness. Oh my. Oh, I'm getting sick over here, Clay.
It's a horror show.
Rogers going down the drain. Apple Valley pushing into the base. They are putting on the closing efforts of this one, folks. Game 2 may have been closer, but the result is most likely going to remain the same. Minions aren't here right now, so we're going to have to hold off on that for a second.
Don't get too excited. We got to wait just a minute here. We can't get excited. Eggsy.
We'll flash out.
Jumping out. There.
Oh my goodness!
On to 705 Stinger. Exhaust.
Okay, man.
Can't do anything.
A shutdown finally going back the way of Xerath, but it's just too little too late. Inhibitors are dropping. Eggsy jumping back in. Xerath ultimate coming in to pick up 1 onto Blitzcranker. But it's a double kill, and it's... You know, you get 2, but the enemy team got the inhibitor, which is going to set them up for pressuring Baron, which is most likely going to then lead to closing out the game. So right now, Apple Valley getting what they want. They got Dragon Soul, which I don't even remember mentioning, so that's on me. But man, oh man,
I got
Clay.
it. I covered it.
Okay,
yeah,
good man. Good man.
Of course. I got your back. But anyways,
I was
10K
slipping.
gold lead for Apple Valley. struggling, or Rogers is struggling, not Apple Valley. Rogers is struggling to find some way in here. Apple Valley is just snuffing out any chance they found. We saw that one really good team fight, really good engage earlier in the game from Rogers, but Apple Valley has been preventing that so far for the rest of this game, because all Rogers has been doing for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, is clearing waves. There's nothing they can do.
Man, oh man. Good damage coming
Really
out.
huge.
Fat Shark going to land on top, and that's another body hitting the ground for the side of Rogers. Apple Valley on cleanup on aisle 5 right now. This is going to be a Baron going into their back pocket, Clay, and most likely the series. Xerath Ultimate is available, so a slight chance for a steal opportunity. Pops it a little bit early.
SD has Smite, though.
Still has 3 shots, make it 2 shots left. One more shot.
The Baron.
Go back to the Baron, please. Thank you.
Yeah,
And
go
it's
show
not
the Baron,
happening.
show
It's
the
gonna be an
Baron.
Apple Valley Baron. Show the Baron. All right, we're good. We're good. Show the Baron. All right.
Show the Baron.
Show the Baron. Oh my goodness, man. We're having a good time. Rogers, on the other
sure.
hand, not so
Oh.
much of a good time. Game 2, though, dude.
Definitely
Like,
not.
they definitely took away from their mistakes in game 1. They had a better setup for the start of the game. The one thing I will say is, like, maybe one person brings scanner, maybe jungler brings scanner to make sure that you're not getting spotted out. And Yumi's got to get to lane right away with their carry, because they just got behind on
Yeah, for
XP
sure.
off the rip for 0 reason. Fizz going for a one-shot attack. What was that?
Where'd he
Dude,
go, man?
that's like one ability. What are we doing here, Riot?
I don't know,
Oh my
man. This is the
goodness,
Fizz
man.
show. Apple
I'm
Valley
actually
taking
losing it.
over here.
I'm about to sign off. That was disgusting.
Yeah, you can
Bethyn,
go ahead and sign off.
Please have mercy.
He can't
Okay,
do it.
dude. It's over. It's over.
That's
it's
it.
over.
That's it.
It's over. Bethyn just killed 3 people in less than a second. I'm done.
even
I'm
know.
actually done. That champion's been busted for how many seasons, Riot Games? All right, sorry. That's my personal solo queue tilt coming out there for years. That Fizz has been doing that, man. And now you guys just all got to
Dude.
see it firsthand. Fizzarino,
Yeah.
all hail, King of the Seas. Bethyn putting on a world-class performance in game number 2. I think 16-2 and I don't even know how many assists. Probably not a
Doesn't
lot. 'Cause
matter,
he's just
man.
doing nothing but killing. I mean, man, oh
Yeah.
man, what a set from Apple Valley.
Fizz, power pick. And that E, what's it called? The invulnerability one. It's so annoying to deal
Playful
with.
Trickster.
He can
Yeah, the
go in.
E. He
Playful
just
Trickster,
eh,
yeah.
on his side. Nobody can hit me. Nobody can
God.
hit me. Okay, I'm flopping back down. I'm doing a ton of damage. And his cooldowns are so low. Like it. Nah, dude. Riot. Nerf Fizz. Nerf Fizz.
Fizz.
He's not even that OP, but when he gets fed, there's no counterplay at all, dude. There's literally no counterplay. All right. Enough of that. Hands are up for Apple Valley. What a game from them. Clay and I need a break. I need some water. I need to take some steps around the house. When we come back, we will be interviewing one of these Apple Valley players, folks. Don't go anywhere. Just a pinch more MNVL action coming up after the break. We'll catch you on the flip side.